Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, titled Creation, Chapter 3, Krishna is the source of all incarnations, Text 6. Sayeva Pratamam Devaha Kaumaram Sargam Ashritaha Chachara Duscharam Brahmacharyam Akhanditam. Synonyms. Sah, that, Eva, certainly, Pratamam, first, Devaha, Supreme Lord, Kaumaram, named in the Kumaras, unmarried, Sargam, creation, Ashritaha, under, Chachara, performed, Duscharam, every difficult to do, Brahma, in the order of Brahman, Brahmacharyam, under discipline to realize the absolute, Brahman, Akhanditam, unbroken. Translation and purport by Stephen Grace. Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. First of all, in the beginning of creation, there were the 4 unmarried sons of Brahma, the Kumaras, who, being situated in a vow of celibacy, underwent severe austerities for realization of the absolute truth. Purport. The creation of the material world is effected, maintained, and then again annihilated at certain intervals. So there are different names of the creations in terms of the particular types of Brahma, the father of the living beings in the creation. The Kumaras, as above mentioned, appeared in the Kaumara creation of the material world, and to teach us the process of Brahman realization. They underwent a severe type of disciplinary action as bachelors. These Kumaras are empowered incarnations, and before executing the severe type of disciplinary actions, all of them became qualified Brahmanas. This example suggests that one must first acquire the qualifications of a Brahmana, not simply by birth, but also by quality, and then one can undergo the process of Brahman realization. Text 7. Vitiyam tu bhavayasya rasatalagatam mahim uddharishyam upadatta yajnesaha saukaram vapuhu. Synonyms. Vitiyam, the second, tu, but, bhavaya, for the welfare, asya, of this earth, rasatala, of the lowest region, gatam, having gone, mahim, the earth, uddarishyan, lifting, upadattha, established, yajnesaha, the proprietor or the supreme enjoyer, saukaram, hoggish, vapuhu, incarnation. Translation and purport by Stephen Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices accepted the incarnation of a boar, the second incarnation, and for the welfare of the earth, he lifted the earth from the nether regions of the universe. Purport. The indication is that for each and every incarnation of the personality of Godhead, the particular function executed is also mentioned. There cannot be any incarnation without a particular function, and such functions are always extraordinary. They are impossible for any living being to perform. The incarnation of the boar was to take the earth out of Pluto's region of filthy matter. Picking up something from a filthy place is done by a boar, and the all-powerful personality of Godhead displayed this wonder to the Asuras, who had hidden the earth in such a filthy place. There is nothing impossible for the personality of Godhead, and although he played the part of a boar, by the devotees he is worshipped, staying always in transcendence. Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 8. Tritiyam rishi sargam vai devashitvam upetya saha tantram satvatam achasta naishkarmyam karmanam yataha. Synonyms. Triyam, the third one. Rishi Sargam, the millennium of the rishis. Why, certainly. Devarshitvam, incarnation of the rishi amongst the demigods. Upetya, having accepted, Saha, he, Tantram, exposition of the Vedas, Satvatam, which is especially meant for devotional service, Achashta, collected, Naishkarmyam, non-fruitive, Karmanam, of work, Yataha, from which. Translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. In the millennium of the Rishis, the personality of Godhead accepted the third empowered incarnation in the form of Devarishi Narada, who is a great sage among the demigods. He collected expositions of the Vedas which deal with devotional service and which inspire non-fruitive action. Purport. The great Rishi Narada, who is an empowered incarnation of the personality of Godhead, propagates devotional service all over the universe. All great devotees of the Lord all over the universe and in different planets and species of life are his disciples. Srila Vyasadeva, the compiler of the Srimad Bhagavatam, is also one of his disciples. Narada is the author of Narada Pancharatra, which is the exposition of the Vedas, particularly for the devotional service of the Lord. This Narada Pancharatra trains the karmis, or the fruitive workers, to achieve liberation from the bondage of fruitive work. The conditioned souls are mostly attracted by fruitive work because they want to enjoy life by the sweat of their own brows. The whole universe is full of fruitive workers in all species of life. The fruitive works include all kinds of economic development plans, but the law of nature provides that every action has its resultant reaction, and the performer of the work is bound up by such reactions, good or bad. The reaction of good work is comparative material prosperity, whereas the reaction of bad work is comparative material distress. But material conditions, either in so-called happiness or in so-called distress, are all meant ultimately for distress only. Foolish materialists have no information of how to obtain eternal happiness in the unconditional state. Sri Narada informs these foolish fruitive workers how to realize the reality of happiness. He gives direction to the diseased men of the world how one's present engagement can lead one to the path of spiritual emancipation. The physician directs the patient to take treated milk in the form of curd for his sufferings from the indigestion due to his taking another milk preparation. So, the cause of the disease and the remedy of the disease may be the same, but it must be treated by an expert physician like Narada. The Bhagavad Gita also gives the same solution of serving the Lord by the fruits of one's labor that will lead one to the path of Naishkarmya or liberation. Text 9. Turye dharma kala sarghe nara narayanau rishi bhutva mopasamopetem akaro duscharam tapaha. Synonyms. Turye, in the fourth of the line. Dharma, Dharmakala, wife of Dharmaraja. Sarge, being born of. Nara Narayanau, named Nara and Narayana. Rishi, sages. Bhutva, becoming. Atma Upashama, controlling the senses. Upetam, for achievement of. Akarot, undertook. Dushcharam, very strenuous. Tapaha, penance. Translation and purport by Divine A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. In the fourth incarnation, the Lord became Nara and Narayana, the twin sons of the wife of King Dharma. Thus, he undertook severe and exemplary penances to control the senses. Purport. As King Rishabha advised his sons, tapasya, or voluntary acceptance of penance for realization of the transcendence, is the only duty of the human being. It was so done by the Lord himself in an exemplary manner to teach us. The Lord is very kind to the forgetful souls. He therefore comes himself and leaves behind necessary instructions and also sends his good sons as representatives to call all the conditioned souls back to Godhead. Recently, within the memory of everyone, Lord Chaitanya also appeared for the same purpose, to show special favor to fallen souls of this age of iron industry. The incarnation of Narayana is worshipped still at Badri Narayana on the range of the Himalayas. Text 10. Panchamah Kapilo Nama Siddeshah Kala Viplutam Provacha Suraye Sankyam Tattvagrama Vinirnayam. Synonyms: Panchamaha, the fifth one; Kapilaha, Kapila, Nama of the name; Siddeshaha, the foremost amongst the perfect; Kala, time; Viplutam, lost; Provacha, said; Asuraye, unto the Brahmana, named Asuri; Sankhyam, metaphysics; Tattvagrama, the sum total of the creative elements; Vinirnayam, exposition. Translation and purport by Student SAC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the fifth incarnation, named Lord Kapila, is foremost among perfected beings. He gave an exposition of the creative elements and metaphysics to Asuri Brahmana, for in course of time this knowledge had been lost. Purport: the sum total of the creative elements is 24 in all. Each and every one of them is explicitly explained in the system of Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy is generally called metaphysics by the European scholars. The etymological meaning of Sankhya is that which explains very lucidly by analysis of the material elements. This was done for the first time by Lord Kapila, who is said herein to be the fifth in the line of incarnations. Text 11. Shashtam arter apatyatvam vrata prapto anasuyaya anvikshikim alarkaya prahaladadibhya uchivan. Synonyms: Shashtam, the sixth one; Atrehe, of Atri; Apatyatvam, sonship; Vrataha, being prayed for; Praptaha, obtained; Anasuyaya, by Anasuya; Anvikshikim, on the subject of transcendence; Alarkaya, onto Alarka; Prahlada Adibhyaha, unto Prahlada and others; Uchivan, spoke. Translation and purport by Student A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the sixth incarnation of the Purusha was the son of the sage Atri. He was born from the womb of Anasuya, who prayed for an incarnation. He spoke on the subject of transcendence to Alarka, Prahlada and others, Yadu, Haihaya, etc. Purport: the Lord incarnated himself as Dattatreya, the son of Rishi Atri and Anasuya. The history of the birth of Dattatreya as an incarnation of the Lord is mentioned in the Brahmanda Purana in connection with the story of the devoted wife. It is said there that Anasuya, the wife of Rishi Atri, prayed before the Lords Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva as follows: My Lords, if you are pleased with me, and if you desire me to ask from you some sort of blessings, then I pray that you combine together to become my son. This was accepted by the Lords, and as Dattatreya, the Lord expounded the philosophy of the spirit soul and especially instructed Alarka, Prahlada, Yadu, Aihaya, etc.